sight. We had everything to gain. Let it be like yesterday.
Hello, it's Bill Caro, 4x4 Van. Haven't done a video in a while, so I thought I'd give you guys an update on what we're up to. We have been, as you've watched the previous videos, we've been to Moab a couple times this spring so far. Now we're getting into pretty close to summer, and we're headed out on a family trip this weekend down Mesa Verde area, hoping to meet up with some other truck friends this month and some other various things going on that are small time. But really we've hit a period now where we're gonna have to do some mechanical work on the truck. Now there have been some interior things we've been working on. This is the bathroom door here, and I'm re-epoxying this whole door. I used oil-based paint and sealed it up real good the first time, but it still got a little water inside of it. So I filled that, epoxied it, letting that dry now. I'll do the other side. I might have to do some other repairs, we'll see. But the big stuff is stuff like this. This is a bilge pump. We're going to use that for the shower drain, which sits just below. There isn't much of an angle between the bottom of the shower pan and the gray tank. So another truck owner gave us this idea. They installed one of these with a waterproof switch, and when your pan fills up, you punch the switch. This pumps it out into your gray tank, and that's how you do that. But that's not even serious. That's just cosmetic. This is a combination brake cylinder. There's one on each of the rear wheels. It's a combination parking brake and driving brake. Now the one on the driver's side is leaking air. And this took a while to find, because when the parking brake is engaged, it doesn't leak. It's only when you're disengaged and driving. My wife found this when we were at the last Moab trip. When I was sitting there waiting for her to talk to somebody, she heard a big air leak, and I didn't have the parking brake engaged, so we found it. So there's a seal inside of here, and when the parking brake's engaged, it pushes it up and seals it off. And that seal, if moisture gets inside of here, rust will form, and then that seal scraping on there causes it to fail. And we think that's what happened. Some moisture's gotten in there over the years, and that seal's failing, so we've got an air leak there. So I have to replace that one. And that combination air cylinder for our truck was 1,600 euros. Yeah, you heard me right. Luckily, these, and I got a pair of these, are from the previous version of our truck, just previous to ours. And these were 200 euros each. So I got the pair. Everything is the same, except these can't go through deep water. If I want to do a deep water crossing, I'm going to have to modify this with some air hoses that are on my truck, and to make this so that these can have a little bit of air pressure in them, so when you go through deep water, it doesn't fill up with water and you have the same problem. But these will work for almost everything that we're doing. These are tie rod ends. Everything's big and heavy on this truck. My tie rod ends I have on the truck now have a little bit of play in them, and they're not supposed to have any. So we're going to have to replace both of those. The others are over here. So we got that coming up. This box is full of 6 U-joints. I noticed on the last trip just a tiny bit of vibration when I'm driving, and it looks like one of the U-joints has a tiny bit of play in it, but I got all 6. There's 6 U-joints, 3 drive shafts on the truck, so all 6 are there. So we'll replace all 3 of those. In addition to that, the motor definitely has more miles on it than showing on the odometer. Surprise, surprise. When we did the clutch right before the first Moab trip, it was pointed out that, yeah, it was pretty bad. That clutch was down to rivets. There was a lot of rust in there. So it had been on there a long time and was completely, almost totally worn out. So we're slowly going through the mechanical stuff now and finding some surprises, not pleasant ones. And yeah, it's depressing, but that's what we're gonna have to do, slowly go through it. So that's a lot of what we've been up to. There are some fun things also. I got some Max Tracks, and we got some mounts for the outside truck to hold shovels. I got my spare tire raiser and lower, very low tech. But some other things like oil changes, and it goes on and on and on. It can get depressing, and big trucks equal big money. So once we get all this done, it should be fine and last a long time. But we had 2 good years of the truck having almost no issues whatsoever, and now we're starting to see some. So that's the way it goes. But it's not going to slow us down too much. We are, like I said, heading out again this weekend for 5 days, and then we'll see what the rest of the year has for us. But yeah, this is what I have a lot to look forward to here. It's not that pleasant, but once again, thanks Ralph for helping me get parts over here, and I'll have another update for you as soon as we have something done on all of them.
Won't you tell me where am I?